Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome. Welcome to day 2 of the gratitude series. I was lighting some cedar to bring in some blessings for us. A beautiful ancient cedar that had fallen. It's hard to tell anymore. I get them from everywhere, so it's either from the Olympic Peninsula or from Mount Rainier. Oh, but it smells so good in here. It smells so good in here. I wish I had smell-o-vision. So, interesting, when I did the day 1 of the series, I wasn't sure how it was going to start, but now I understand why. We've all been going through so many different things. It's hard. I just posted a shorts about mental gymnastics, and seriously, it's no lie. It's seriously like, I'm just proud of all of us. Just first and foremost, I love you. Spirit loves you. We are so proud of you. I'm proud of myself. I'm just proud of all of us. Like the fact that we're, keeping it together. I'm starting to see what is working for me, what is not working for me. I'm sure you're probably going through the same. Ooh, I looked down, it was 111. So today we're going to be reading from the spirit medicine cards. That's the spirit animals. And we are also going to be pulling cards from the Oracle of the Unicorns. I myself have been feeling a lot of heavy unicorn and horse energy because we had 3 horses here and now we're down to 1. One went back up for the winter. Oh, you may have just heard it. There's Callie. The other one, Ghost, if you are part of this tribe, you know I've spoke about Ghost a lot, and he was here for 7 months. He left today. I thought I was done crying. Shit. Anyway, it's only because Callie's crying right now, and she's been crying, and she's been having a really tough time. I spent some time with her, but actually we have somebody who's staying on the property right now, and they're out there with her, so that's good. The only thing is Kelly doesn't trust women very much. She had a really hard time, so it looks like this girl's trying to feed her, but it took me a while, not long, because Kelly's really smart, and she knows that I'm an empath, telepath, medium, all that good stuff. Hold on, is this girl coming this way? Where's she going? Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. Those of you who are new here, welcome. But those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that we live in a tiny home on a 10-acre farm. And right now, our landlord has a new boarder. I don't know how long they're going to be here or what's going to happen. But anyway, it looked like they were walking towards our fence, and I just wanted to not be a jerk, but I just wanted to let them know that's not okay, because we literally built that so that it's our own private way to the pasture. And see, it's just about setting boundaries. I just wanted to make sure. Anyway, oh my gosh, there's so many things to talk about, and you don't need to hear about all that, but if you hear a lot of neighing in the background, that's what's happening. And it looks like this sweet girl, it looks like she was just trying to this young woman, it looks like she was just trying to take care of Kelly, but Kelly doesn't know her, and we had a lot of rescues here this summer, and she is the one that has the most trauma, which is why it's ripping my heart out right now to hear her, because she's alone and I don't know her past or what happened. She's only shown me a few things, but I know she has had a woman who was not very nice to her. I actually saw a lot. We spoke about that in one of our other classes, or maybe one of the readings, but anyway, I just think it's a great metaphor. When I looked down, it was 355, which is also the number 13, which is the number of the witch and magic and angels. And if you guys can, send some love Callie's way. She's a sweet horse. I'll post some, I need to post some footage of today that I took of them. But she's a sweet girl, and it's a great metaphor for all of us, right? Everybody's going through something right now, even the animals, which is why it doesn't surprise me that the animals wanted to come through today. So this is day 2, but I'm being called to do something every day. Today in real time is November 21st, 2021. So from now until the end of November, for the next 9 days, I'll be posting something every single day on my Patreon channel. The link is below. It's $13 a month. But once you sign up, you have access to everything that's on my channel, which is awesome. I've had the channel since I think April, so there's so much to watch. We did a 28-day challenge in August. We had another challenge just like in between from then till now. So there's just a lot of magic and a lot of things that are happening right now. And Spirit wants us to know that they recognize that, and they recognize that we're all in pain and we're all suffering. But the sucky part about being in eclipse season is that we have to look at all of our stuff. And let me tell you, I'm the type of person, or the soul, or whatever you want to say, that would be out there with her. Even if I was frozen, I would be like coming back in and getting warmed up and like bringing out hot cocoa or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I would be out there with her. But Spirit said no. They're like, she needs to go through this on her own. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's killing me because she's screaming for Missy, but the neighbor's horse, but where they put her, either she can't hear her or she is more deaf than I realize. Missy's somewhere between 26 and 30 years old, which is really on the later spectrum for a horse. I had no idea we were going to talk so much about this spirit medicine, but it all applies to us too, right? Like everything that it's like animals are just like us. And maybe the whole point of why you're meant to watch this series is to really understand how we can perpetuate love and kindness in the world, or we can perpetuate, darkness and sorrow. Because a lot of what this class is going to be about is foundation. And also we're working with our root chakra, which, I mean, honestly, the way this all came to me was so beautiful. Like, I had my music was on shuffle and I was like, oh, this music is really beautiful. And I heard, look at it. And I saw first chakra and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And then they're like, and we're going to work with angel number 1414, which by the way we are. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. So I look up 1414. 1414 is all about foundation. I was like, okay. So I'm like watching it all tying into each other. And then I added it together and I'm like, well, 1414 is 10, which is about completion, but it's also, if you drop off the 0, it's 1. It's about rebirth, right? We are in the last few days of Scorpio season. Scorpio season is all about renewal, rebirth, just speaking your truth. There's so many things. Scorpios are amazing, but also, using our intuition. Scorpios, in my opinion, in my experience, I should say, really not my opinion, but in my experience, Scorpios really are one of the most intuitive signs of the zodiac. And I'm a triple Sag, but my moon's in Scorpio, so that makes a lot of sense to me. Because moon is like water, intuition, all that. So, right now, the way that everything is tying in, it's like looking at the beauty of it, right? If you pull all of those like pearls together, all of those little things that, those little seeds that Spirit just planted, it all goes together. Even today is 11/21/2021. I mean, I love those numbers. I love the way it all looks, right? But it also comes to the number 10. So I feel like this gratitude series is about, oh shit, snap. I love you, Spirit. What? I just realized, even though the first day was, I think we did it on the 8th. I believe it was on the 8th, which was this bear was the spirit medicine. Holy shit, that's right. We did work with this. Oh, I love it. I love it. I didn't even go back and look at it. I'll be honest. I've been so emotional today because Ghost left and he was like my baby and it was really hard to part with him. And I can't talk about it. Anyway, but we talked about that it was east of the full moon. And I didn't understand it, but now I do, because that was the first day. And now we're going to do 9 days in a row to the end of November. That's 10 days. 10 days of gratitude. Do you get it? This is the shit that Spirit has been talking about. This is the shit that Spirit has been talking about. So I'm just going to go about my business and do the reading and do the class. However Spirit breaks this up, however it is meant to be, it will be. And so part of it will be on my Lula's Labyrinth, and then the full episode will be on my Patreon channel. And it's at that point where you just ask yourself, like, do I need to go further in this medicine, or did I get enough? And I think that's what Spirit is doing for some of you. They're challenging you to go further, to go deeper. Some of you that are on here, you guys are good, man. Like, you don't, or maybe you feel like you don't need to go deeper into learning or teaching on the Patreon channel, right? But for some of you, You may have been led here recently, or maybe you've been here for a long time and now you're really going to step into your gifts. That's really what it is, because I feel like the Patreon is for those who want to delve further into it. Or, like, I mean, all of our Patreon members that are on there now are the most powerful, seriously, some of the most powerful light beings, witches, healers, magicians that I've ever known or worked with. But they too, like myself, are like Johnny Five, input, if you ever see that movie Short Circuit, it's like, we want to learn more. Because we know we're meant to learn more. We know we're meant to grow. We know we're meant to keep going and learning all of these things so that we can utilize these tools in our growth process to further our work here as light workers on this planet. All of us have a completely different path. So if you're not drawn to go to the Patreon channel, that's cool, but also if you, want to donate, or I always, or at least I try to, not always, but I try to leave in the comments in the description all the ways you can donate towards the tribe, whether you want to, I have an Amazon wish list that you can buy decks for the tribe. Also, I have, modes of, to donate through, I think I have PayPal on there and Venmo. I don't remember if I have, and Cash App. Yeah, I think I have those three on there. So you can always donate that way towards the tribe. A lot of the times, the money that I get from anywhere with spirit, usually, a certain amount of it goes back into my work, and then a certain amount of it goes into like my bills and things like that. But anyway, with that being said, we've got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to learn today. So it's interesting. We're in the reflect and release phase of the moon. We had the full moon just a few days ago, the full moon in Taurus, where we celebrated our blessings, right? It was bright and beautiful, but that's when eclipse season started as well. So from now until December 4th, which will be a full solar eclipse, this is the time we got to get down in there. It's going to be dark and dirty, which it doesn't surprise me why spirit is having us like go balls to the wall 9 days straight during this dark time, because for some of us, we need the love and the guidance and the support. And for some of us, we need to know or understand like what the fuck is happening to us, like what's going on, because all of us, we just had this 11/11 portal, and, so much opened up and transformed for so many of us. And some of us don't even know it. Like even if we didn't call it to us, we indirectly, like our higher selves, like know, spirit knows exactly which light codes that we need to, that needed to be implemented for us to move forward on our journey. But by the way, this came into my sister witch. One of our sisters in our tribe is a doTERRA person, and anyway, long story short, we do a lot of exchange, and they sent me this, and I laughed because I was like, dude, it's so awesome, but it just like smells like my yard, because I live in the Pacific Northwest. She's like, I know, I just wanted you to have it, or she was just like, you were just meant to have it. But it's funny because I've used it for a lot of different things already, and I love that sometimes spirit knows more than we do what we need. But anyway, for this particular one, obviously I don't have smell-o-vision, but look at how it says the woodland blend, Northern Escape. It was the words that came to me. The Northern Escape. So for some of you, it's time for you to go, maybe it's into your North Node energy. Maybe it's literally a physical place. Maybe you have like a grandparent's cabin that's like in the north, and you're like, shit, I haven't been there forever. Spirit's like, go there, like go be alone, go like, find some space for yourself. We are blessed to have so many tribe members from all over the world here. We actually had a beautiful South Korean angel came through the other day, and I was just like, that's so amazing. We've got people from all over the world in this tribe, from down under on the, in Europe. Please subscribe. This channel is just going to blow up. I'm feeling it because I'm feeling like we're all meant to come together now from all different places. And when I say blow up, I mean like energy wise, spirit's going to have me doing a lot of different things, but I'm just like you, right? Like I'm going through shit too. So however that is meant to play out, it will. But I know for myself right now, I am in it with myself, with my partner. I do not want to miss a thing through this eclipse season, because I'm realizing how much I need to see, and how every time I go to control something or force something or whatever it is, I start to see and understand what is on the outer spectrum when I'm super needy, when I'm super wanty. And I mean wanty, you know, like in fact, as long as we have a roof over our head and food in our bellies and a warm place to sleep, we are blessed than most people on this planet. So we must be mindful right now with our thoughts and our words. And when you're starting to feel like shit, or when something's coming towards you, or a person or a situation or an energy that you're just like, oh, and you're just like, I don't have the bandwidth, I can't give anymore, I am blown out, I just can't, spirit, I can't. What I want you to do, and what's helped me, and they're asking me to pay this forward because this was given to me by many sources over the last few weeks. Oh, throat chakra too. Work with your throat chakra. Speak your truth. Is that when you get your shit out, because you should, because when you're like, what the fuck, spirit, I can't do it about it. And once you've cried, get in that energy, right? We're still, before we go into Sagittarius in a few days, that fiery, beautiful energy. Wait till I come on the scene, man. That's what I'm waiting for, is my triple fire to kick in. Because right now I'm feeling these last few days of Scorpio hard. But that's okay, right? Because that's what I'm supposed to be. So when this happens, get it out, cry, kick a fucking can down the street, do whatever the fuck you gotta do to get it out. But once you do, then I want you to sit in reverence for a moment. I want you to sit in respect for that energy. I want you to thank it. Even if it sucked, even if it was horrible. I don't care if somebody fucking totaled your car. Be grateful that it happened, because you don't know what else could have happened. Instead of dwelling in what happened, accept it, work through it, and then say, okay, spirit, I'm ready now. What is coming my way? Also, karma is fucking real. It is real. It is so real that I can tell you from my own experience that I am going through it right now. I'm watching my partner, my friends, my family, animals, all of it. Like, I can't speak for her, but it just came into my mind, so I'm going to speak for Callie right now, the horse that's left alone. Ooh, and I look down, it was 17. Woo, woo, woo. Ooh, I'm going to have to send this to a sister, and she'll know what I mean she'll know who she is. Anyway, I just got that kind of like, yeah, like not feeling sorry for ourselves, right? Because sometimes we bring shit on ourselves. Callie showed me yes, horrible things have happened to her, but at the same time, she's also done horrible things. And she showed me kicking people, hurting people. And she's showing me, like, that's her karma right now. I don't think it's going to last very long because, you know, and also I need to find out if she has found her a home yet. And if you guys are watching this and you know anybody within driving distance in the Olympia area of the Pacific Northwest that would like a horse, she's actually really awesome. She's never kicked me. She's never hurt me. When I've heard all these horror stories about her, I was super cautious. I'm not dumb. She's not the first horse I've hung around or the first horse that's been rescued or gone through something, right? So, you know, but 18 too, by the way. Interesting. 17 and 18. Oh, and 14 is our number. Interesting. But all of us have been hurt. And how we react to a situation, a thought, whatever, is on us. And we could play the victim and say that happened to us. It did. Or we could say it happened for us, because that also happened, right? That happened also. It happened for us. We may not be able to see the big picture. It's hard to be in gratitude and be thankful, right? When you fucking step in shit and you're like, what's that smell? And you're walking around and you're like, what is that smell? And you can't get rid of it. And all of a sudden you're in your house and you're like, what is that smell? Yeah. Reason 785 why I no longer allow people to wear shoes into my house. I learned that lesson the hard way because I stepped in dog shit and walked it around my entire house. And then, oh, I just looked at it, was 1919. Whoa, spirit, you're blowing my mind. You're blowing my mind. You're blowing my mind. This is amazeballs. Right? So, right. And that's also 1919. What is that? 1010. What is that? 11. The angels are watching out for us, but it's also about the completion and the ones and starting over. We can't keep living in that moment. We can be pissed about it. We can clean and gripe the whole fucking time we're cleaning it. That's okay, right? Like, we're human here. We're used to being able to just go wing, wing, snap, the little twinkle of our nose, like Bewitched. Like, we're used to having these magical gifts, these magical powers where we can just summon things. But in this earthly world, things are different. We are in the fifth dimension, right? But we are still dragging with us like a fucking dead body. We are dragging the 3D energy with us. And if we continue to drag that energy with us, which is a post-apocalyptic world, that's the zombies. The zombies are a metaphor. Like, I said to Ed the other day, I go, don't you think it's interesting how many fucking zombie movies I go, at this point, I feel like there's more zombie movies than vampires or any of that shit. Any of that. Aliens. I'm like, I feel like at this point, I'm like, why are people so obsessed with zombies? 2037. Which is also the number 12. I've been seeing that everywhere, which is also the number 3. Holy Trinity. Woo, Jesus. Yeah, right? It flows like that. That's how our brains need to flow. And that energy, like mine does. Not that I'm the all-encompassing whatever. But see that butterfly right there? There's a reason why that butterfly, it just kept like falling into the image until finally I was like, does that want to be there? And I mean, I barely even put it there. It's like kind of hanging out of that moss. I'm like, cool, that's cool. But right, like we are the butterflies. It's time. But we're in the pulling out of the chrysalis stage, right? Like we're pulling out. But you can't yank yourself out of it. It's in the growth of pulling yourself out, sweet butterflies, that you are going to be so much stronger. I said to Spirit the other day, I was like, I'm at the point I will go into a fucking apartment again just to not live like this. I mean, I'm like, I call Uncle. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't want to. I'm just like, I can't. Like, I'm at the end of the end of the end. You know what I mean? And then I keep seeing these things for summertime, and I like started to cry, and I'm like, if you fucking keep me on this property in this fucking camper for another 6 months, I'm like, I will probably go mad. I don't know who I'll be at the end of it. But at the same time, right? Like, I don't know who I'm gonna be at the end of it. And maybe it'll be sooner, maybe it'll be later. I don't know. Maybe summertime means something else. Maybe it just means like after that next eclipse season, right? Because the next eclipse season is going to be in that like end of spring going into summer. Right now, it's the same thing. End of fall going into winter. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, you are, ooh, I just looked down 22. What? So, right, you see what they're saying? Okay, so for those of you who live in the southern hemisphere, you are in the different set of that, right? It doesn't matter. Eclipse season is eclipse season is eclipse season. It's just a time. It's like every 6 months. And that's why we have Mercury retrograde at a different time. And it's like these eclipse seasons happen for a reason. They're there for us to go to the darkest dark. So by the end of it, we can illuminate into the light. 2255. So whatever it is that you need, that comes down to number 5, by the way, which is change and transformation. Whatever you need to go through your change and transformation, whether it means you need to let go of some baggage, whether that's people, places, things, a job, it doesn't matter. Then don't focus on what you're miserable about, focus on what makes you happy. And that's what I've been getting from Spirit, for myself as well. Like, focusing on what I don't have is not helping. It's not helping. So let's clear that air right now. Spirit, thank you so much for all of us that are here right now. Thank you, sweet cedar. Thank you, ancient tree, ancient energy. We are in gratitude for you. For those who walk before us, our ancestors, wherever you live, it's real time for you. But in my real time, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, which for me is just like another day to honor the ancestors, those who walked before us, those who sacrificed. Of course, what happened is horrible. Every time one, culture goes to eliminate or cancel another culture, it's deplorable and disgusting. Anytime anyone enslaves another person or takes away their rights or tries to control their energy, that's fucking horrible. But we do have to honor those who fought bravely to try and make things better, or who thought they were doing the right thing, who walked before us. I have Cherokee ancestors running through my veins, through my blood and my bone. But I also have Poland and Germany and France and Ireland and Scotland and British and probably more shit in there that I don't know. You know what I mean? So I just feel like from this moment forward, we all need to work on laying our own personal foundations, celebrate our truth, honor the ancestors. You know, I used to only honor the ancestors with food and certain things like on holidays or whatever, but now it's like they say if you do anything for, 30 days straight, it becomes habit. And the week leading up to Samhain, I started getting really rigorous about honoring the ancestors, and every time we ate, I made a plate for them. And now it's just become like a beautiful natural thing that we love to do. And we put it on the altar and make sure that their candle is lit, Even when I go to bed now, it's like some of it's for heat because it's fucking cold. But also it's, I like to keep the embers burning, to keep the light lit for those who've lost their way. And the ancestors, that's all they ever did was look out for the one before and look out for the one after. That is our job, is to look out for each other, to lay the foundation of love and grace, for reverence and respect for ourselves, for each other. So, I don't know what every day will be like, but it's going to be fun. And they say, this was the saying that Spirit said to me today, a foundation to achieve, they're saying, build a sturdy, strong foundation to achieve peace and joy. Positivity is key. So what they were saying earlier was, every time you go through something really horrendous, when it's over, after you've had your temper tantrum, or maybe you haven't, maybe you don't even need that anymore, but whatever it is, there's no judgment here. Spirit wants you to think and just close your mind or close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and think about all of those people in the world that don't even have the basic things you have: heat, water, food, a roof over their head. Be grateful. Be thankful. That is exactly what they want us to do, is to be grateful and be thankful. That is how the foundation starts, from gratitude. They don't expect us to not be human. They know that we're human. But you need to get grounded. That's why we're working with the root chakra, today. And I don't know if it's going to be over the whole series, but definitely for the rest of this series, the rest of the 9 days. But, getting grounded and finding some meditations, affirmations, things, anything positive. Use your intuition. If you're not sure, use your pendulum. Working with that energy of gratitude. By the way, this piece of paper keeps wanting to come out, and I don't know why. Oh, this little happy face, this little cloud happy face that I drew once, that just came out. Isn't that cute? Just think of happy clouds, happy, just think of spirit. All right, hold on. I'm going to see if we're going to start pulling cards yet. Okay, so Spirit said we're just going to go, and then they're going to decide where it's going to stop. So I maybe even be mid-sentence or whatever. So if you want to keep going, then you can watch the continued reading on the Patreon channel. Otherwise, then there's the medicine. And that's all you needed. Or apparently that's all you needed. Okay, wow. What? This is the first one. I mean, the fact that it's the number one is already amazing. But also, oh, look at that with the crown chakra. They're put on the crown chakra. But number one in this deck is spirit. Literally. Like that is, so we're going to move. I'm going to put this, how do you guys want me to do this? I just realized we didn't practice with the cards. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be front and center. I was kind of like, what? I was like, come on. But the butterfly's hanging out. So, yeah. So even that is just really, really powerful. 2959 when I look down. So let's read from, so we have, those are the medicine, or excuse me, that's that, but we're going to read from the medicine cards book. Okay. And for those of you who've never been here before, for some reason I'm feeling the need to read this. So this is the beginning of the book. It is with great love and respect that we dedicate this work to Grandmother Twyla for her lifetime of service to the teachings of the Wolf Clan and the children of Mother Earth. For Yahweh Nod, she whose voice rides the wind. Isn't that pretty? I love that. So yeah, so this book is just amazing. I love the cards, but honestly, without the book, it's kind of like, and it's cool because it's not just a book. You know what I mean? Like, or I should say, it's not just like a book you get with like oracle cards. It's like a book. So at the beginning, they always have these cute little poems there, as you can see. So if you want to take a screenshot for yourself. Eagle, fly high, touch great spirit, share your medicine, touch me, honor me, so that I may know you too. Beautiful. This says, Eagle medicine is the power of the Great Spirit, the connection to the divine. It is the ability to live in the realm of spirit and yet remain connected and balanced within the realm of earth. Eagle soars and is quick to observe expansiveness within the overall pattern of life. From the heights of the clouds, Eagle is close to the heavens where the Great Spirit dwells. The feathers of eagle are considered to be the most sacred of healing tools. They have been used for centuries by shamans to cleanse the auras of patients coming to them for healing. Within the belief system of Native American tribes, eagle represents a state of grace achieved through hard work, understanding, and a completion of the tests of initiation which result in the taking of one's personal power. Whoa, I just got the chills all over my body. It is only through the trial of experiencing the lows in life as well as the highs, and through the trial of trusting one's connection to the Great Spirit, that the right to use the essence of eagle medicine is earned. Ooh. If you have pulled this symbol, eagle is reminding you to take heart and gather your courage, for the universe is presenting you with an opportunity to soar above the mundane levels of your life. The power of recognizing this opportunity may come in the form of a spiritual test. In being astute, you may recognize the places within your soul, personality, emotions, or psyche that need bolstering or refinement. Ooh, listen to my throat going out, throat chakra again. By looking at the overall tapestry, Eagle teaches you to broaden your sense of self beyond the horizon of what is presently visible. In learning to fiercely attack your personal fear of the unknown, the wings of your soul will be supported by the ever-present breezes, which are the breath of the Great Spirit. Feed your body, but more importantly, feed your soul. Within the realm of Mother Earth and Father Sky, the dance that leads to flight involves the conquering of fear and the willingness to join in the adventure that you are co-creating with the divine. If Eagle has majestically soared into your cards, you are being put on notice to reconnect with the element of air. Air is of the mental plane, and in this instance, it is of the higher mind. Wisdom comes in many strange and curious forms and is always related to the creative force of the Great Spirit. If you have been walking in the shadows of former realities, Eagle brings illumination, right? We were just talking about that. Like if you're still living in the 3D world, but you're like, but you know that that's not real. Like, you know that the 5D magic, like, you know, all this exists, you know, spirit exists, like, but someone keeps hammering home, like, or you keep going to church, or you're like living in secret of like who you really are. You know, it's like, then you're not living your truth and you're not walking with the divine of spirit. It's like you're straddling both worlds, but that's not the way to lay a foundation, right? Because you're not really, it's like you're kind of in one world and the other. Now, mind you, we all have to be in the 3D at some point when we want to go to the store or, you know, but it's again, how we handle it, how we react to it. You know, I have some people when I'm using my pendulum in the grocery store that come up to me and are fascinated by it. And then I have other people who like, I mean, they either come out to me like right in my face and like basically call me a demon, or I've had people like their energies, like this one old couple was like, it was what they were giving me was so awful, and I was like, the sad thing is they were so powerful, but they were using it for evil. I was just like, they were putting like, I don't mean to say that dark, but it was like, I just felt like those are the kind of people that would have hung me up on a noose and not thought twice about it because their church told them like I'm a devil or a demon, you know what I mean? So it's like you really got to be fucking careful, like who you are sharing your energy with and your physical space with. Spirit is saying like you got to take yourself out. So stay at home as much as possible, and when you're going out, only be with the people that make you feel good. Or maybe you need to start going to a local co-op or a grocery store, or maybe different stores that whatever it is. That's just what popped up. So whatever it is, it's individual for all of us. So it's going to completely resonate differently for all of us. But whatever hit with you, that's what it is, right? So if it's family, if it's friends, definitely with this holiday season coming up, I'm sure they're going to have me talk about that more as we get closer. We're 4 days away from American Thanksgiving. So, that's like a big deal for us here. And, like we were talked about earlier, it's like, it doesn't matter how this quote unquote holiday came to be. It's not about that. It's about now that happened, but now let's move forward. And, we do feed our brothers and our sisters from all over the world. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. I remember for the longest time when I lived in Los Angeles, that it's like certain holidays, like I would go and stay, with friends and family. Like there was this one family that I used to love to do the holidays with, and they were from Ecuador, and they were very devout, Catholic. But it didn't matter. They were also very spiritual, and it wasn't about like what I believed in or what they believed in. They knew I was more quote unquote spiritual, and I had an Om tattoo on my wrist, and at that time I was really more into like Buddhism and Hinduism and that kind of thing, or I should say those cultures. But it didn't matter. We still broke bread together and drank wine together, and I brought a tradition to them. I said, would you guys mind? I'm a stranger here. It was my very dear friend and her family and friends, and you know what I mean. And so it was amazing. It was like one of the most beautiful Thanksgivings I've ever been to. And ironically, none of them were American but me. So I was the token American for the party. It was really funny. This is so LA. I love it. But in this gorgeous home, in the hills, like just beautiful views and stuff. And I just remember I was like, do you guys mind if I they're like, do you want to say the prayer? They're like, absolutely. And I was like, no. I'm like, but yeah, I will if you want me to. I'm like, no. But I said, one of my favorite traditions is to actually go around, and before we eat and before we say grace, we each say one thing that we're thankful for this last year, since last Thanksgiving. One thing, just one thing that we were thankful for, just one. It could be a plethora, but it was like, one. And it was interesting how when it started out, people were like, they weren't sure what to say. And by like, the fourth or fifth person, people are crying. People like, all of a sudden people are like, can I change my answer? Like just got really profound. And because I was with all these beautiful different cultures and people from all over the world, and we just had different experiences, it was just a really cool thing. So maybe you want to do that this year for your Thanksgiving, or if you celebrate something like that, any holiday, it's just, it's just nice to go around and say, what are you thankful for? I know for myself, like I have so many things to be thankful for this year. Like I can't wait. I'm starting to get emotional. I can't wait to break bread with my husband and Bubba and just be here together as our little tight knit family. Like I feel really grateful for that, And I don't want to hide my emotion for it, but I really am. I had to shed almost every single friend and family member I had from my past life in order for me to move forward, because Spirit is showing me I have a much bigger path, and I just can't be distracted anymore. And with that being said, it's the same for you. What's distracting you from your higher purpose? The eagle is no joke. He's not fucking around. Look at his face, and it feels like a very strong masculine energy. Right now we are working so hard to bring the feminine energy up, to bring more balance. So I always like to read the opposite of the card as well, because I feel like there's always meaning in, the hidden. So if this were in contrary, quote unquote, position, if it were in a reading upside down, it says, if you have pulled eagle in the reverse, you have forgotten your power and your connectedness to the Great Spirit. You may have failed to recognize the light that is always available for those who seek illumination. Heal your broken wings with love. Loving yourself as you are loved by the Great Spirit is the lesson which the contrary eagle brings. On some level, eagle is telling you to seek higher ground on which to build your nest. The nest is the home of the heart and cannot remain in a swamp. If your nest is in a swamp, this may be connected to your belief that your wings are clipped by an impossibility in your present status. Eagle's nest is high in the mountains, where the air is clean and the movement free. It may be your time for a vision quest, so that you can commune with the Great Spirit. Fasting and praying will surely bring an answer. Seek lofty ideals and illumination will be close at hand. Wow, okay. When I looked down, it was 4011, which is the number 6, which is also next year, 2022. It's so close, you guys. We just got to get through these last, you think I don't cry? Like, the other day I said to Spirit, I was like, I just got angry, I just can't help it sometimes. And I just got really angry. And I just said, it was one of those days where yeah, now we have this person staying here. I didn't know anything about this. And it's not like they brought their tiny home in a car. It's like every time they leave, they bring their tiny home, and it's like this old van, and it's really loud, and it's like, and it's just really disruptive. And I was so grateful because our landlord has, like, with the COVID and all that, she's a CNA, so she hasn't been working that much over the last last year and a half, and she finally got this really great job, and she's been working 3 days a week again. It's just 4 hours a day, but that 4 hours, like, I can feel, like, when Ed's at work and she's gone, like, just I feel that energy of release, that I'm just alone, right? So the other day I just was like so irritated because she pulled up, and she stayed here before, and I've been trying to send them as much loving and positive energy as I can, but they just have a really scattered energy. And a lot of the people that come here have very scattered energy, and I can feel it. I'm so highly empathic to that energy. And it's like, if we were in an apartment building, it'd be like if we were on the first floor and they're on the third floor. Like, that's how far away she is from us. Like, it's like not really close, but not far enough. You know what I mean? And it's like, we didn't sign on for that. Like, we pay rent, and I don't know what they're paying or what's happening, but I just was like, nothing was told to us. No respect, no reverence from our landlord in that respect to, like, even like tell us that they were coming or that they were staying. And so they were here for a few days, and I was talking to my landlord outside about something. And then in passing, she was just like, oh yeah, just so you know, they're staying here. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I don't know, maybe a week, few weeks, who knows? I don't know how long they're going to stay. And I just, like, kind of got frustrated because I was just like, okay, well, okay, then that's what it is. Like, what can I do? There's nothing I could do about that except for move or leave. But yet I can feel like we're not meant to go yet. So it's just been really interesting. And when our landlord's not here, her other friend, like, comes over. She has friends who come over to take baths. She has friends who come over to do their laundry. Like, it just feels like Grand fucking Central Station around here. And I'm at the end of it. And I don't know if you know this, but, like, where we are on the property, we're basically on the road, and it's a dead end road, but there's, like, houses behind us, and, like, there's, like, at least between 7 and 10 cars going up and down here every day. When you could probably heard them coming by while you're sitting, and I just lost my shit. I'm like, I am trying so hard. I'm like, but you got to get us out of here. Like, I'm like, we're ready. We, like, just tell us what to do. Like, I'm like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like, that's always been my thing. But I realized, you know what? It's just in Spirit's time, and it doesn't matter how much I cry, and it doesn't matter, the crying's good because I'm getting it out, but there's obviously something still here for me. And today I said to Spirit, I'm like, is there something karmic here for me? And they said yes. And I said, is there something karmic here for Ed? And they said, well, it was like a yes and no for him. So either it's that they don't want me to know, or they're like, it is but it isn't, like, it can happen somewhere else kind of thing. I don't know, I didn't go further, but definitely there's something further going on here. So I realized during this eclipse season, there's something I need to figure out or work with. And I'll be sharing that with you guys as we go through it. But, it's just interesting, which is why, but also that I'm glad that Callie, nothing against that person. I send them so much love. I really do. But it's interesting that Callie wouldn't take any food from them and didn't want anything to do with them, because Callie's very particular about who she lets in her space, especially female energy, because she's had bad experiences with human females on earth in this horse body. So it's very interesting, like that she lets me hug her. But she only lets me get so close too, and she kind of backs up, but she's getting much, much better. But she takes food from me easily. You know what I mean? And I think Sarah, our landlord, she does too. But that girl, she was like apprehensive. She didn't. So either that's Kelly shit or I'm dead on about that. Like, and it's nothing against them. It's just like, I'm tired of being around energy that like is just sprung upon me or put upon me. Like I don't have a say or a choice in it. And I'm like, but I do have a say and a choice in it. So it's interesting. So I'm working that out. So do you have something like that? They had me share that with you. And obviously when Kelly was like, nah, again, I was like, I hear it. I'm like, thanks. So I don't know if we're going to pull any more because I kind of feel like that was it. Because I'm like, not that it's about going higher or lower or, whatever. Oh, no, we are. Okay. But you know what I mean? It's like the ego is just like, whoa, in the spirit. So Badger, oh yes, number 29. Actually, the Badger makes so much fucking sense right now. And when I read this, you're going to totally understand why the Badger is so perfect. Hold on. By the way, as I was going to open the book, it literally opened to the horse. And so I have to read this part. So it says, oh, hold on. Mighty horse, power to run across the open plains, or to bring the vision of the shields dancing in purple dream rain. And the horse is about power. And remember when they were saying about taking your power back? It says, stealing horses is stealing power, was a statement made frequently in historical Native America and a reference to the esteemed role which horse played in the native cultures. Horse is physical power and unearthly power. In shamanic practices throughout the world, horse enables shamans to fly through the air and reach heaven. Humanity made a great leap forward when horse was domesticated, a discovery akin to that of fire. Ooh, because we're going into Sagittarius season. This is so powerful. Before horse, humans were earthbound, heavy laden, and slow creatures indeed. Once humans climbed on horses' back, they were as free and fleet as the wind. And we were just talking about the air energy, remember that? They could carry burdens for great distances with ease. Through their special relationship with horse, this is powerful, you guys. Humans altered their self-concept beyond measure. Horse was the first animal medicine of civilization. Humanity owes an incalculable debt to horse and to the new medicine it brought. It would be a long walk to see one's brother or sister if horse had not welcomed the two-legged rider upon its back. Today we measure the capacity of engines with the term horsepower. Do we not, right? A reminder of the days when horse was an honored and highly prized partner with humanity. Dreamwalker, a medicine man, was walking across the plains to visit the Arapaho. I don't know how to pronounce that, nation. He carried with him his pipe. The feather tied into his long black hair pointed to the ground, marking him as a man of peace. Over the rise of a hill, Dreamwalker saw a herd of wild mustangs running toward him. Black Stallion approached him and asked if he was seeking an answer on his journey. Black Stallion said, I am the void where answer lives. Ride on my back and know the power of entering the darkness and finding the light. Holy shit, Dreamwalker. Oh, Dreamwalker then thanked Black Stallion and agreed to visit him when his medicine was needed in the dream time. Yellow Stallion approached Dreamwalker next and offered to take him to the east where illumination lives. Dreamwalker could share the answers he found there to teach and illuminate others. Once again, Dreamwalker thanked Yellow Stallion and said he would use these gifts of power on his journey. Red Stallion approached, rearing playfully. He told and that's what she's a red, that's what she is. She's a Red Stallion. Oh, this is from Callie. Thanks, Callie. Red Stallion approached, rearing playfully. He told Dreamwalker of the joys of balancing work and heavy medicine with the joyful experiences of play. What? Were we not just talking about foundation and balance? Yes, I've been getting this from Spirit a lot lately, right? He reminded Dreamwalker that he could better hold the attention of those he taught when humor was integrated with the lesson. Dreamwalker thanked him and promised to remember the gift of joy. Dreamwalker was nearing his destination when the Arapaho nation was close at hand. White Stallion came to the front of the herd. Dreamwalker mounted White Stallion's back. White represented White Stallion was the message carrier for all of the other horses and represented wisdom and power. This magnificent horse was the embodiment of the balanced medicine shield. No abuse of power will ever lead to wisdom, said White Stallion. You, Dreamwalker, have made this journey to heal a brother in need, to share the sacred pipe, and to heal the Mother Earth. You have the knowledge through humility that you are an instrument of Great Spirit. As I carry you upon my back, you carry the needs of the people on yours. In wisdom, you understand that power is not given lightly, but awarded to those who are willing to carry responsibility in a balanced manner. Dreamwalker, the shaman, had been healed by the visit of the wild horses and knew that his purpose is coming to the Arapaho was to share these gifts with them. In understanding the power of horse, you may see how to strive for a balanced medicine shield. True power is wisdom found in remembering your total journey. Wisdom comes from remembering pathways you have walked in another person's moccasins. Comparison, caring, teaching, loving, and sharing your gifts, talents, and abilities are the gateways to power. So the contrary says, if your ego has gotten in the way, you may have failed to notice the lack of respect you have been receiving from others. You may, on the other hand, be struggling with others who are abusing their power. Should I say something? Should I fight my desire to... throat chakra. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh my gosh. Does this resonate with some of you? Oh, let it out. Should I say something? Should I fight my desire to put them in their place? You may be asking yourself, remember the times in your own life when you have fallen out of grace with Great Spirit, and then have compassion for the brothers or sisters who are now doing the same. If you are overpowering another or feeling overwhelmed, horse medicine is both the dignified and contrary positions. Both in the dignified and contrary positions is a simple reminder of how to balance your shields. And allowing all pathways to have equal validity, you will see the power and glory of the unified family of humanity. This is the gift of the Rainbow Warrior or Warrioress. The I has no place in this whirling rainbow that comes from the great mystery and is replaced by the universal we. All colors of the rainbow and all pathways are honored as one. Apply this knowledge and reclaim the power you have given away by forgetting to come from compassion. Untangle yourself from the present situation and understand that every human being must follow this pathway to power before galloping upon the winds of destiny. Wow. It's on page 179, which is also, what is that, number 8? So you know what? I had that happen with this person that I'm talking about. I had to ask myself, why are they bothering me so much? Why am I so irritated that they're here? What is going on? And I realized because every time they come here, it's like watching an old version of myself where I just want to be like, oh my gosh, do this, or oh my gosh, do that, or why are you, but and then I realized that's what it is, right? Like I've known that, but I know it's something even deeper that I need to go into. So ask yourself, like, what is it? What is it that you need to look into? What are you not being compassionate about? Because the badger says, badger, 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 until you reach your goal. Know the inner power that lives inside your soul. Badger is about aggressiveness, but it's also the number 11, which is angel energy, right? And new beginnings, ones, nice. So it says badger is vicious and attacks with powerful aggression. Badger is quick to anger and quicker to pounce. The power of badger's medicine is aggressiveness and the willingness to fight for what it wants. The very thought of facing badger makes other animals run for cover. Like skunk, badger's reputation precedes it. Its hissing fangs will tear less aggressive opponents to shreds. Badger is the medicine of many powerful medicine women, for badger is also the keeper of the medicine roots. Badger sees all the roots of Mother Earth's healing herbs hanging in its burrow home. These roots are a key to aggressive healing. Roots can ground negative energy into the earth by allowing illness to pass through a body into the ground as neutral energy. Badger medicine people are quick to act in a crisis and they do not panic. If badger is a part of your medicine, you are quick to express your feelings and you do not care what the consequences are. Badger people oftentimes insist on carrying the ball for the touchdown. This attitude, however, does not endear them to their teammates. Badger, right? No person is an island. Badger medicine may also point to the aggressive healer who will have the courage to use unconventional means to exact a cure. Like the mother who sits for days nursing a child with a high fever, Badger is willing to persist, right? So it's like, which wolf are you feeding? Badger people can be vicious gossips or may exhibit a chip on the shoulder syndrome if they are out of balance. You can be sure that people with Badger medicine will be aggressive enough to make it to the tops of their chosen fields because they do not give up. They are also the finest healers because they will use any and all methods to ensure healing and will not give up on the critically ill. A Badger person is often the boss, and one that everyone fears. That same boss will surely keep any company afloat. Badger gets the job accomplished. Badger's certainty is a source of strength. If Badger pushed its way into your cards today, it may be telling you that you have been too meek in trying to reach some goal. They ask you how long you are willing to sit and wait for the world to deliver your silver spoon to you. In this medicine, the key is to become aggressive enough to do something about your present state of affairs. Badger is teaching you to get angry in a creative way and say, I won't take it anymore. You must follow up by keeping your eye on the goal. Honor the healing process as you express those inner feelings. Be aggressive, but don't cut others to ribbons on the way. That is too much aggression. Use your anger to stop your lolling around so that your doldrums of apathy are a thing of the past. Badger is a powerful medicine when properly used for self-improvement. Remember that Badger may be signaling a time when you can use your healing abilities to push ahead in life. Heal yourself by aggressively removing the barriers that don't grow corn. Cut away the dead wood and use Badger's aggression to seek new levels of expression. Use Badger's medicine roots to keep grounded and centered in the process. So I like to read the contrary too. So it says, oops, here comes Badger upside down and fuming. This could mean that you're being chewed out by someone else. So maybe someone's being the Badger to you, right? Or that you've expressed your anger in an unhealthy way. If this applies to you, remember that all anger stems from anger toward the self. If it is anger of helplessness that is misdirected towards others. If you're angry at a coworker for telling the boss that you were looking for another job, you're really just angry at yourself for not keeping your own damn mouth shut, right? They said your own secret, but Spirit said keeping your mouth shut. Got to keep some secrets, right? If you're angry at your children for disobeying, it's usually anger that stems from fear for the children's well-being. This self-anger condition is usually present when you have silly accidents, quote unquote, right? You fall and cut your knee, you scrape your elbow, or when you find yourself bumping into furniture. Badger in the contrary position can issue in a time of reflection on what you feel helpless about. Is it your lack of aggressiveness or initiative? Is it that your fear of being blasted or belittled? Is it that is it your fear of being blasted or belittled if you present a new idea? Maybe it is a time when you need to get in touch with your own jealousy or envy of others who are willing to put themselves on top through hard work. In the reverse, that's a really powerful one, by the way, because I would get that from certain people. They would say, I'm so jealous of you, or I wish I was there. And I'm like, well, fuck, it took me a while to get here, man. It's like, I didn't come out of a box like this. This is 49 years in one way, right? Like my lifetime, but also like the last decade, it's been like nonstop hard work of me doing this. So I get frustrated sometimes when people say that to me. I'm like, well, you have to get down in there. You got to do the work. Don't be jealous, just fucking get it done. Like, go do it. Like, we're not meant here to be jealous of each other or envious of each other. We're here to love and support each other, because envy, that breeds resentment and contempt, and we don't want that. Right? And you're also coveting someone else's energy. Talk about taking away someone's power. So in the reverse, Badger teaches you the pitfalls of shyness and insecurity, as well as of misused or vicious aggression. Go to your feelings. Maybe you just need to let off some steam. If so, scream into a pillow and then punch it a few times. It will surely put Badger back into balance. Badger can be difficult medicine, and learning to use it properly is a rare gift. In another context, contrary Badger could be calling you to use herbs and roots to heal your body. Its root chakra is like is our guest today. So Badger reverse may also be putting you on notice to be aware of those areas of your life that need the input of someone else's aggressive creativity to spark your own. In any case, contrary Badger speaks of a need of more aggressive action in your life. No more inactivity can prevail without creating pain of some kind. And that is our spirit medicine from the spirit animal deck. Oh, let's see. Are we going to go? So let's see. Are we going to pull any more? I'm going to hold on one second. Okay, so Spirit wants me to clear the air. So prepare yourself for some nice dingings. Yeah, because Badger is like no joke. Oh, speaking of, hold on. Listen to that. Hold on. My sincerest apologies. It's been seconds for, or like a second for you guys, but like I just had to deal with some stuff. So I'm so sorry. So I need to get back centered myself. So I'm going to, I put the buffalo here because this is the next card we pulled. Doesn't surprise me, you powerful people. So eyes closed. Take some deep breaths. Okay, that feels much better. I apologize. Feel free to open your eyes, keep them closed, whatever feels good. So, the buffalo. Oh, the buffalo is such a powerful animal. I mean, all of them are powerful, of course, but so this one is, let's see, you can see this one, so you can see what it says. Buffalo, you bring us the gifts of life. Hear our prayers, smoke rising like phoenix. We are reborn within the sacred words. And I love that. And that they talk about the phoenix, and we're in Scorpio, last days of Scorpio energy. So this is about prayer and abundance. In the Lakota tradition, it was the white buffalo calf woman who brought the sacred pipe to the people and taught them to pray. The bowl of the pipe was the receptacle that held tobacco, an herb with male and female medicine. The stem of the pipe represented the male entering the female and seeding life. In the coming together of male and female, the connection to the divine energy of the Great Spirit was made. As the pipe was loaded with tobacco, every family in nature was asked to enter into the pipe and share its medicine as prayer and praise to the heavens. The smoke was considered to be visual prayer. They want you to see this instead. Okay. Okay. Where were we? As the pipe was loaded with tobacco, every family in nature was asked to enter into the pipe and share its medicine as prayer and praise to the heavens. The smoke was considered to be visual prayer and was very sacred and cleansing. All animals are sacred, but in many traditions, white buffalo is the most sacred. The appearance of white buffalo is a sign that prayers are being heard, that the sacred pipe is being honored, and that the promises of prophecy are being fulfilled. White buffalo signals a time of abundance and plenty. Buffalo was the major source of sustenance for the Plains Indians. It gave meat for food, hides for clothing, warm and soft buffalo robes for long winters, and hooves for glue. The medicine of buffalo is a prayer, gratitude, and praise for that which has been received. Buffalo medicine is also knowing that abundance is present when all relations are honored as sacred and when gratitude is expressed to every living part of creation. I mean, if this isn't just the best way to like, I'm pretty sure we're summing this up. We're already over an hour, and I don't know if it's cut off or not. I haven't been paying attention. Um, that is just, I mean, honestly, like, that's just so beautiful, right? Because of its desire to give the gifts that its body provided, and because of its willingness to be used on earth for the highest good before entering the hunting grounds of spirit, buffalo did not readily stampede and run from hunters. To use buffalo medicine is to smoke the pipe in a sacred manner, and to give praise for the richness of life to be shared with all races, all creatures, all nations, and all life. Weren't we just talking about that with my Thanksgiving message? That's so beautiful. It means smoking for others so that their needs are met, praying for the good of all things in harmony, and accepting the great mystery as part of that harmony, right? And letting go of control, because it's the ego that thinks that it knows better. We're like, we all think we know better. We think we know where we should be or what we know, but what we need and what we want are very different things. It's like when the time comes is like when it's like when it comes is when it's supposed to be. Like we are all exactly where we're meant to be. That is the bottom line. That was angel number 1414 was saying, like, we are all exactly where we're meant to be right now. And even if it sounds crazy or it doesn't feel right, or it's just because you're in the uncomfortable stage, right? Like you're still in the butterfly where you haven't fully pulled out of the chrysalis. See what I mean? That thing like barely holds it, or just hold it. It's awesome. It's like we're barely in the chrysalis, but I also wanted you to see like the sparkly of it. Or we're barely pulled out of the chrysalis. So when 2021 ends, And 2022, 222 comes when the number 6 comes and we come back in balance and our foundation is more solid. We're going to start feeling better. But we're just in the drugs of it, you know? It's just where we are. So it says, if you've drawn the buffalo card, you may be asked to use your energy in prayer. You may also be called upon to be an instrument of someone else's answer to a prayer. This could portend a time of recognizing the sacredness of every walk of life, albeit different from your own. To honor another's pathway, even if it brings you sadness, is a part of the message that buffalo brings. This may be a time of reconnection to the meaning of life and the value of peace. Most assuredly, this time will bring serenity amidst chaos if you pray in earnest for enlightenment and the power of calmness and give praise for the gifts you already have. Buffalo medicine is a sign that you achieve nothing without the aid of the Great Spirit and that you must be humble enough to ask for that assistance and then be grateful for what you receive. That's beautiful. Yeah, right? Like, I may not be happy with my situation completely, but it's like, it's just how I handle it and how I'm going to deal with it. And, is not being so bratty because I'm like, my birthday's coming and the holidays are here and I don't want to share. And then I realized after a while, I was like, I sound like a fucking dick. I was like, I don't know. I mean, they're Canadian, right? So I'm thinking they don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. Like, why are they even here? Like, just all these, which isn't like me. I'm always like more the merrier type of person. But it just feels like if it's an energy that's uncomfortable for me, I just want to like scoot it out. I just don't even want to deal with it, right? It's like I just want to like push it. I'm just like, I don't want to push it out of the way, right? But we can't always do that. Sometimes we just have to be in where we are, because when we're in that part that feels uncomfortable is when we actually have the most growth. That's when it's the most powerful, right? That's when we learn the most. It's funny that one rock is there and it kept wanting to be there, but it kind of looks like an egg or a seed, right? So it's like, see how the seed is planted, but it's got to like grow past like the earth to become what it needs to be. It's like we're kind of in that stage right now. I forget in one of my decks, if it comes to me, I think it's in the Witches of the Wisdom deck. They talk about Ostara being that, right? So for some of you that are in like that energy right now in spring going into summer, maybe that'll resonate for you. But if not, it's still kind of that thing, right? Some people plant seeds right now for things to come out in the spring. They have to plant them now. So look at it that way. Start planting the seeds for right now, for what is going to come. You know what I mean? Like for what you want to come. Hold on, I gotta check my phone. Okay. For a minute it went dark and I was like, am I out of, I knew my battery was pretty good, but I just wanted to check it. But it went dark. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Sorry. Camera glitches. Okay, so I'm going to read the contrary, and it says, to receive buffalo upside down is a signal that you have forgotten to seek help when it has been needed. If your hand is closed in a fist, you cannot receive the bounty of abundance. And understanding the significance of the reverse buffalo, you may well ask yourself these questions. Number 1, have I forgotten my eternal partner, the Great Spirit? Number 2, am I pushing myself too fast in the physical world and keeping myself from seeing the importance of reunion with the source of all life? Number 3, have I forgotten to honor the ways of others and to afford them the same respect that I wish to receive for myself? Number 4, am I feeling like, did I say 3 or 4 back then? Anyway, now I'm on 4. Number 4, am I feeling like my life is being used for the highest good at this time? Number 5, have I forgotten to be grateful for my life, my possessions, my talents, my abilities, my health, my family, or my friends? And number 6, is it time to make peace with another, or to make peace with some inner conflict I have so that I may walk in balance again? Become the buffalo. Feel the smoke of prayer and praise change your buffalo robe to white so that you may be an answer to the prayers of the world. Ugh. That's so beautiful. I feel like this has been wanting to come in, so I'm just going to bring this in. So for some of you, you may want to start working with scrying. This is like a little crystal ball. Or maybe, I'm just meant to show it to you. Maybe there's a message there. I'm hearing the Wizard of Oz. I'm hearing la, 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 la. No, that's the Smurfs. Oh, I'm hearing the Smurfs. But I saw the Wizard of Oz, like when they're running through the poppies and they're excited and they're like running towards the light, like towards Emerald City. So I feel like that's what Spirit's saying, like run towards the light. Look at all these different pathways you can take. The light's going to be there. The light's going to be on. The light is always on. That's what they're saying, like the light is always on. You don't have to, You are good enough. It doesn't matter what you did. I don't care if you got drunk out of your gourd last night and did a gangbang. I don't care. It's like today is a brand new fucking day, you know? Today is a brand new day. You are not the sum of all of your deeds. We are all here for a purpose. Your purpose is just as important as my purpose. We are all just as important as each other. They're like having me go back and forth. I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you having me do that? So that must mean something for somebody. Okay, so let's see if we have any more cards. And by the way, I think we're going to move I think the Oracle of the Unicorns is going to be for tomorrow because this ended up being way more intense. Okay, this just like flew out and it was upside down. So those of you who have never done these, seen these decks before or these cards before, there are, I forget, 9, I think there's 9 shields in the deck. Blank shields, and that's for you to either put in your own power animal or your own vision, right? Maybe it's a mirror for you to, like what's bothering you? What's going on? Most likely it's something mirroring back to you. Like I said about that person that I was saying is like bothering me. That's not like me. That's like such old programming. I don't get like that. I just really don't, and for some reason this individual is like pressing my buttons, and you know what? I'm in gratitude for them, because even if I'm like irritated by them or whatever, it's like, why am I irritated by them? I have to ask myself, why am I irritated by them? And I'm telling you, like, I'm working it out with you, but I feel like it's still, I can go deeper. I'm going to see if they do want me to pull the unicorn. Maybe maybe whole thing's going to go, oh, wow. When I looked down, it was an hour and 11 minutes and 1 second. It was like 111. It was 4 1s. So let me see. Maybe we are meant to pull from, and maybe it's going to stop there. Holy shit, a bunch of cards just flew out. So maybe we are going to stop there for the YouTube channel. And then for those of you who want to go deeper into this reading, I'm going to pull some more cards, maybe for some cards for direction from the Oracle of the Unicorns. Okay, it may even break into 3 videos. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's already broken into. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I just heard to keep going. Okay, you know what? Spirit's having me leave it right here. So, thank you so much for stopping by. The link to my Patreon will be below. So if you'd like to come in for the extended reading, I just pulled some cards and they look amazing. 2 of them, I almost started crying, and because they're so like spot on with what we just said. So anyway, if you're pulled to it, meet us over on Patreon to get the rest of this reading. Or I should say, we had the class and we're going to go further into the class with these cards. And otherwise, thank you so much for being here and for supporting this channel and for supporting yourself. I love you just the way you are. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho.